4-month Twitch Prime, Eddie. Ah, I feel for you with that map. And guys, King of the Hippo number 5, Qualifier number 4. We are looking at boards of Canada with our most Canadian American that we're having in the community. It will be Mr. Wool, work for ice cream. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing all right. Don't tell anybody, but Canada may be my second favorite country of all time.
Ooh, North Korea being number 1?
Oh, hands down.
Okay, sweet stuff. Okay, so players had the choice of Turks, Spanish, Malay, and I'm confused again, Japanese. And it seems like Spanish and Malay kind of is what people want to go for here.
I say so far, I think we've only seen 2 civilizations in each of the games. I'd say everyone's kind of been sticking to one or the other.
Fields Nearly Man, not the best preparation, and we are obviously here at King of the Hippo fighting for that beautiful ballerina hippo. Unfortunate spot for all the guys from the south because they will have to fight uphill. Nice spot though to grab some of those sweet gold thingies here in the center. And yeah, so do you know any of the players? What are we expecting? What will we see, especially because we have so little gold at the start?
I'm not sure. We've got half American players though, so I'm pretty excited by that. I think they'll do well.
Okay. I saw you being in the other qualifier, at least in the chat, and seeing how the monument works now with the more resources if you control it. How do you like that so far?
So far, I think it's been pretty interesting. I was really glad to see Timotheus in that last game going in for it and getting it really establishing dominance fast. I was really concerned it wasn't going to work out for him, so I'm glad that he won it in the end, because it would have been too bad if he had taken a risk like that and had it not go his way.
Oof, just saving the villager here. And yeah, I was pretty happy. Obviously, I like him a lot, and he is so supportive as well. So, love that strategy and how it worked out. And I think we might see more tricky strategies coming up. Instantly sending villager number 4 there was certainly something I would have loved to see, and it actually happened.
Oh, there we go. I've been trying to keep track of how many times the monument has switched hands, like in each game, and it seems like it's more than before, so that's exciting. I'm gonna have to go back and chart all of them to see how it goes, but I think in the second game it switched like 18 times, and it was up to about 15 in the last game before I stopped paying track.
Oh, okay, so sweet. And I absolutely like this is making me so incredibly happy. You don't know like how much people care about those events. Like Dracont is taking 2 days off just to prepare for this and will watch every game. You said like you marked this in your calendar as well. That's just so beautiful and such a compliment to me.
I was really excited. Like for a while, we were gonna have a family party today, and I was like, "How about we do it next week instead? Because that would be better." Yeah, next week's a good idea. I'm like, perfect.
Oh, so sweet, so sweet.
Yeah, I was ashamed. I didn't want to tell them that it was to watch video games, but I think most of them would have understood because, you know, Age of Empires runs kind of deep in my family. So,
sweet.
So maybe I should have invited all of them to watch it with me, but
Rogan?
I don't know if I'm ready for that level of commitment in my family.
Thank you so much, Shadow, for the host as well. Here we are still looking at King of the Hippo. We're fighting for this monument in the center, and as you guys all know, we have this new mod that you get extra resources if you own the monument. For example, green at the moment, as you can see, is increasing that. Well, actually, purple is now taking over with 42 HP, and it's increasing quite a bit, trying to fight for it, and now orange is taking it back. So four people are already having a part of that monument here. And well, how like are all your family members playing Age of Empires?
I know that they have all played it in the past. None of them really play it regularly anymore, but like during Thanksgiving and stuff, a lot of times, like when we're at my parents' house, we'll watch some games or streams if they're on. My nephews still play the game, and my brother-in-law, who introduced the game to us originally with the first Age of Empires. He still plays a little bit, but nothing, like seriously.
Okay. Up! First kill here for a nooblet. Oh, well, that's like a lot of people around the world, or especially in Western countries, hate it to spend like forced holidays with their family, but like yours sound like the dream scenario. Sitting down.
It worked out really well. The way we found out about Forgotten Empires in the first place, or I guess it was the Forgotten back then when it was a mod and not like an official expansion, is we were looking for a way, to get it installed on all of our computers so we could have like a little family LAN tournament. And so that's how we found it, because my brother's like, hey, look, they added the Hungarians, because he lived in Hungary for 2 years. So he was all about that. And he was very excited about it. And that's kind of what got us back into it. So
okay,
pretty excited about it.
Super sweet. And for all the guys coming over from Tato's stream, in half an hour or after this game, I will have a big tournament announcement. And maybe, just maybe, Tato will have a small part in that. Ooh. Spoiler of the spoiler. Announcement of the announcement.
It's been exciting to see these scout fights for the monument throughout the games. It kind of seems like you want to be in there to get the resources, but you kind of want to be the last scout in there, because then you're going to chase everybody off. I really liked what happened last game, where he sent a villager with his scout just for that little extra push, but I don't know. I'd kind of like to see a little bit more fighting for this monument.
Yeah, it for me, I have this monument as a Hippo ballerina. It kind of feels like Black Swan. Everyone fighting for the ballerinas here.
I wish that I had installed that because in that game where the scout got stuck in the Hippo, it just looked hilarious. But I've just got the Spanish monument is what it is on mine, because I said, I wisely decided to redo everything on my computer yesterday, and so I don't have the Hippo monument mod on, which makes me kind of sad inside.
Okay. Well, if it's only inside and you're not crying on stream. It's nice to have feelings.
I had a feeling once it was terrible.
If feeling once. Okay, sweet stuff. So, Ruddy Man is actually going towards the center here, playing the Spanish, and now towering up. Tries to control all the gold here, as it seems, and tries to get his part of, well, the center. And this time Nimino, let's take a look at his resources. He's already sitting here for 402 seconds. Are you kidding me? Or is he on stone? He's not on stone.
I say no, he's sneaky. I don't know if he really needs to be on stone with that monument just ticking up like that.
Yeah, he's... Go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to see maybe a Turk in this one, because I don't think the Turks would work out very well for anything except for like a fast Imperial, and then just spamming bombard towers around this monument as fast as they could. But maybe someday we'll get to see that.
Well, you have enough stone. Let's take a look. Now some villagers trying to hop into the tower here. And still Nimino, look at that. He's 501 seconds. That's just ridiculous. He's like 8 minutes out of 14. He controls the center. Look at how far he is ahead. Like, he has so bad villagers overall. But the stone and gold is pretty sexy for him.
I'd say as long as he keeps, his cost of keeping that monument down to, what it would be for 12 villagers, it's definitely worth it. So I'm excited to see.
And it's still him. Oh, trying to fix the overlay in the meanwhile. It'll take some time. And he's running around.
I've always thought that it'd be interesting. I don't know how feasible it is, but I'd like to see a mod where the timers are much shorter, but they only count down when you have absolute control of the monument. So everyone would have an individual timer. It would be like 100 or 50 years. It wouldn't reset. And it only counts down if you're the only one in the middle. I don't know if that would work out, but I think it'd be interesting to see. I don't even know if it's possible. I've asked some modders about it once, and they just ignored me. So I'm not sure if it is possible.
Maybe I should ask for you then.
I'll say, yeah, we'll get the big guns out and see what they say.
Okay, like I've been working for the last 4 minutes trying to get up to the normal overlay here, and I'm not getting back to it. Or is that the? Or am I getting? Oh,
so you're cutting out for me a little bit, so I'm going to disconnect from the Discord and then reconnect. See if that helps me out.
Okay. I think that's the right one now, right? Okay. So we have towers up. It feels like Ruddy Man has a good chance of controlling this area now, but Red actually is taking over. So let's see what people are up to here. We have... Oh, that looking like Conquistadors to me. We will click up to Castle Age pretty soon. We have freeloading. He is starting his boom. 1x50C, some walls. Nimino is going on to the boom as well. Did have enough stone for Conquistadors, but decides to go for the boom first. Tapani will just boom. Maybe some stable action now goes on to stone. Then we have Lu, the wolf, who will co-cast a bit later as well. We have...
There we go. That's better.
Okay, sweet stuff. He's going for the 3TC boom. We have Ruddy Man going for the center. He's still in Fuel Age. And he doesn't actually own the monument, although he invested so much. This one Spearman is still controlling it here of David. We have to be pretty happy with that. 3TC is running. And actually, as you can see, nice climbing of all those. Oh, Nasty Bob actually walled 2 of his villagers in. Look at that. Left hand side, he wanted to wall quite a random area. And villagers were stuck there for a small second.
There we go. It seems like the Spearman has kind of been the unsung hero so far of these games. The amount of time that we've seen just 1 or 2 Spearmen holding these monuments. I don't know, new meta.
Finally, the Spearman might go down. Yeah.
Oh,
Teal is getting a piece of the cake.
I'd say after how much he's put into it, we'd hope that he'd get some.
Yeah. Oh,
I also would have...
Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I also would have liked to have seen maybe a Japanese player just towering up like crazy. As long as you're going to build a bunch of these towers, might be nice to see some of those Japanese super keeps shooting them up. But
I think Japanese are pretty strong, honestly. Like the traps, the towers.
That's really what I thought. I thought we were going to see mainly the Malay and the Japanese, because it feels like the Japanese could just tear through what the Malay have to offer, which seems to be, just hordes and hordes of infantry. But I don't know. I was not expecting to see as much Spanish as we did.
Yeah, maybe people still feel confident there. Think, okay, if I can get control of the gold, I can get onto Paladin Conquistador composition or something. Tricky stuff. They obviously have great trash as well, which never hurts in an FFA scenario.
Green.
And again, green is taking over the monument instead of teal. Oh no, and he's building another tower where it doesn't help.
Build the tower on this other side where he keeps hiding his spearmen.
Oh,
and get through. Purple now's coming up with a pretty hefty serving of villagers. I see a castle coming in from him. Well, no, he doesn't have the stone for it. So
no, he has a castle.
Oh, it's because he dropped it. There it is. I didn't see the foundation.
Let's see. Villagers needs to go on to the other side here. And we have Nasty Boy already finishing one of his castles at home. And, let's take a look. Well, that's 6 Spanish villagers if he decides to really work with that.
Nimino's coming in. Tons of villagers.
Oof.
Going all for it.
And Ruddy Man still isn't controlling the center. Look at that. It's still green. So weird. Oh, poor Ruddy Man. Oh. Now he will lose all his towers. Look at that now. Sandwich from two castles. Knights of Nimino coming in. And green. He's just happy getting all the resources in the world.
I say this is working out really well for him. He hasn't really had to invest much into it, but he's somehow been able to reap the benefits of this until he gets pushed. No, the knights are running away. Never mind.
What? Wait!
But no, I'd say he just might go the full 300 years with these two spearmen hiding down there.
Oh, that's so weird. Look at that. He has resources to go in, but only 50 villagers here. 53 villagers, and finally conquistadors and knights are coming over.
Gotta do it, right? Well, there we go.
Okay. Nimino's taking over. Well, and also benefit of having center control is you have access to quite a lot of gold.
Yeah, it seems like center control might be a little bit more. I mean, it's been pretty important throughout just because, you know, the super free resources, but this is where all the great gold is, so...
Freeloading is building mass barracks. I think he wants to spam 2 swordsmen. Right.
Kind of plans. And the Nasty is starting to wall up pretty well, so if you might be able to get a nice free boom coming in.
Well, he's at 62 villagers, is on Conquistadors, so he should be fine from all ratings. And freeloading indeed. Attacking M&A. He will go mass rend swordsman and mix in some Karambits as it seems. Purple controlling the center. Nimino going for Conquistadors as well. Yeah, the monument is like 12 unupgraded villagers. So in Imp it is like 8, 9-ish or something, but in Dark Age it's super strong to control the monument. First player to Imp, freeloading, and he controlled that monument for such a long time.
So yeah, I wonder if you just start spamming in there. Like, I think that might be such a strong strategy because it's very rarely, you know, whoever gets the most kills in the middle. It's just whoever can survive the longest. And just with that, you know, crazy flood that these guys can do.
What do you think of the TC of Rowdy Man there in the center?
I was pretty impressed that he decided he was gonna drop it right there with one villager and let us go. And great gold spots for it, but
that's so optimistic. He knows 2 castles are up around him. He has no army. He has
there's
no
a
boom.
mangonel, you know, within sight of it, you know, taking out a bunch of towers next to it, but you know, maybe he'll get away with it.
1890 is sending some love to you. We'll work for ice cream.
Somebody needs to send him some love because his favorite hockey team, the Capitals, are not looking so hot. They play later on tonight. They need some help because not looking good.
I thought he was a football fan.
He is a football fan, but above all else, he's a hockey fan for sure.
Okay.
And since his most favorite of all teams, the Pittsburgh Penguins, were eliminated, he's had to jump ship and become a Capitals bandwagon fan. So that's kind of where his allegiances lie on that one.
Tricky will be tomorrow. Well, we have Killer B, who's a Boston Celtics fan, and I'm more the Cleveland supporter. So will be some bad blood tomorrow, casting with Killer B.
I'm excited to see Killer B. Ever since his big move, I haven't got to see as many of his streams as I would like, but some high quality stuff coming out of his channel for sure.
Yeah, absolutely love it. I think he streamed this morning as well. Had his series on Tuesdays, but it's kind of tough to have a running tournament if you don't want to invest like super a lot of time, lots of money. And the castle you're probably oohing about.
Yeah, I want to say Rudman might be able to. I was getting a little worried for that town center since it was getting sandwiched by siege workshops, but he decided to build a nice little castle right there to defend it, and if that one villager makes it out alive, then might be okay.
Let's see. Well, Purple isn't really punishing him. I think he could just Huh. Run around here and...
Yeah, but those conquistadors seems like they probably could have taken a bunch of those villagers out, but I don't know. It's always a lot more difficult to play in these games than it is to watch them and think, oh, why don't they just do this, you know? Then when I try to do it, I'm always just looking at my base being like, oh, I need to make more farms, I need to chop some trees, and then I look back in the middle and all my stuff is dead. I'm like, oh, okay, I understand that.
Okay, then let's indeed do that, and let's take a look at what people are going for. Ondu is raiding Tapani now, who's heavily behind and probably should maybe even get swiped off this map. He is still going for Mass Conquistadors, pop 95 for him. Ondu, I think we'll get a kill here. Teal, obviously, very bad boom, will get killed in the center. We have David being super passive this far, now goes for more Karambits in the center. We have Mass Conquistadors from Nasty Bob. We have Newblood Matt. Well, with the center control that we are showing, Green. Well, he was super early and he's going for the banking up gold strategy, right? Or is he? Did he? Let me quickly check if he did the special tech here. No, he didn't. Oh no. Okay, yeah, he forced levy. He did it. Okay, okay. So he will go for gold-free units. Still questionable against Mass Conquistadors, if you ask me. And Nimino, we know in the center, so we gave you an update for all of them.
Looking pretty strong.
Who is Nimino? You mean Nimino's looking strong?
Yeah, he's looking strong, yes. I thought you were asking someone in chat, who is Nimino? I'm like, oh, okay.
No.
Let's just,
no, that was kind of the same question. Who is it?
Nimino? Nimino. I'm like, okay, yeah. That works out well. I'm not familiar with the siege capabilities of a lot of these civs. You think we can see something that can wipe out a lot of these kind of massed up conquistadors, or?
Well, Spanish have siege rams, which are super beefy against conquistadors. So I think how people are designing their unit choices kind of feels like mass siege rams should be pretty efficient. No, but Nimino now going for Cavaliers.
Added bonus of being able just to tank when you do hold it, so I don't know. I think as we learned from the coaches, you can never really go wrong adding in siege rams.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Blue, go away. I like it here. He has quite a bit of army. What do we see here? We have Karambit amount of 81. Killing the castle. Tapani, he's going in with the back TC, so that's all okay, but I'm already bottom score against highest score. That's something that we don't really want to see. Normally we love an underdog story.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were gonna see really a lot of clashing along the side, just because, you know, unlike some of the other maps that we've seen, everyone's got a pretty straight shot out to the middle. But if you can get yourself a little bit of breathing room, I don't see why not. Ooh.
No, Cavaliers in the center going for some more upgrades, and yeah, it's not looking too great for Tapani here. Where did he run with his conquistadors? Did he even run?
I think all of his military are dead, yeah, so kind of got cleaned up there.
Pop 60 there. Tricky stuff. At the moment, it's only Nimino and Purple fighting off.
There's quite a massive two-handed swordsman rampaging through Nimino's base. They're all giving the double hand chop to a town center there.
Yeah, I think it's the prettiest unit in the game.
I really like the two-handed swords, like the color. I think the champions, I really like the way they look, because it kind of looks like they have a jetpack on their back. So if we could get the champions back on the rest of the two-handed swordsmen, that would maybe be my favorite unit of all time.
Okay. I really like how they're hitting, like they really want to destroy their enemies.
Just lay into it, and so it's
BAM! Well, conquistadors are pretty strong as well.
I just say, whenever you've got, you know, infantry going up against guys with guns on horses, you're gonna need a lot of them before you can pull anything off.
Yeah.
So he's putting a lot of good pressure on Nimino, so I wonder if that'll open up a little bit of aggression from maybe Purple or someone, see if they can wrest control of that middle away from, because he's had it for just so long that...
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He has it more of half of the game, right? He had it 8 minutes earlier, and he has it for at least the last 5 minutes. Maybe even 10 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, it's... Let's say, for being a late minute addition, he's definitely had a pretty big impact on this match.
Okay, but now Onlu thinks, okay, Blue's TC is wiped out, I got some extra gold. Let's go for the center maybe, because it's only 105
but
years.
He's going to do a bunch of Conqs. I mean, there are a lot of Karambits, but... You know,
one's just
they're
around.
shirtless guys, so...
Shirtless guys indeed. Well, the conversion against the Karambits, well, that's not really the greatest thing ever. But now we're down to 100 years. That means it's time to spam some nearly years in the chat. Oh, now it's getting into the intense phase.
I'd say number 100 is kind of that magic point at which everyone's like, okay, I'm done sitting around back now. It's time to get serious. So see how it goes. But yeah, just that flood of Karambits coming in from Blue is pretty entertaining to see.
Indeed, 88 Karambits on the map only for him at the moment. Now Bomber Tower's even advancing, and he never really had the monument, so that's all pure melee power on its own.
Yeah. Just a flood of these guys coming out, and so I don't know if Nimino can keep up this thing with just getting kind of pushed from behind and the pressure in the middle. I don't know. I like a good hold from the early game, but I don't know if it'll ever happen as
well, it happened before. Nimino is investing too much to hold against reloading, though, and he cannot also hold against Blue. Did hold against Purple before that, and D9, thank you so much, given the respect and love that Jinable absolutely deserves. The mastermind behind Warlord of Kingdoms there.
If you're interested in Giant Apple's stuff, he's been streaming development of Warlord of Kingdoms. So if you give him a follow on Twitch, you can see him actually, making this stuff, and it's pretty interesting to see. And if you have any questions, you can go straight to the source to ask him, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, great stuff for sure. Doing so much there, so supportive, and yeah, love that for sure. More traps, so that's something that Onlu loves. Killing a lot of castles, killing a lot of Conqs and villagers without really investing too much has to be lovely for him.
Yeah, and so I think he's definitely going to be the man to beat now. And with these villagers up there, I'd like to see him maybe build some more production buildings a little bit closer, because I'm always worried about supply lines getting cut off. But he's done a really good job building just kind of a path of bombard towers to try to keep that clear so nobody can just park a couple of conquistadors and cut off all of his reinforcements.
Yeah, look at how he's always building three siege workshops, 3 bomber towers, 3 bomber towers, 3 bomber towers, 3 bomber towers at the front. Looking pretty sexy for him, honestly. 70 years here. Gray and red are facing each other. Green and orange are fighting each other. Yellow's kind of out of this game. Tito doesn't really have anything.
Red and orange is having some fun.
This looks pretty sexy for Onlu. 65 years only.
I think he might have got that timing down just right, and it seems like that is kind of the most important of all things in these Hippo tournaments. Is it's more about timing than anything else, and just knowing when to hop in. But he's cleared just about everything up, and it's looking good.
It's more about outsmarting your enemies, and well, the production of the Karambits will be real for sure. He doesn't have the most gold, but queuing up more halberdiers, building more bomber towers here. He should send more villagers towards the center and get the gold.
Yeah, these bombard towers I think are unfair because most other civilizations they only have one cannon sticking out on every side. These Malay ones have two cannons pointing out of everyone. So I think that we should get on the horn with Forgotten Empires and get them to nerf that down because just clearly favoritism towards new civilizations with that.
Yeah, but the thumbnail only shows one in each direction. Or do they simply have only 4 directions and the other ones have like 8?
I don't know. We'll have to form a task force to look into this.
We absolutely do. We might
the AoE zone balance patch and and canon investigation committee. Well, it'll work out great.
Thank you, Skybox. But honestly, we need to focus on this game. It's only 37 years left, and there's so much army left. This looks so good for Onlu to take it.
It looks incredible for him. I keep thinking that there's more time left just because of how nonchalant he is just sitting here. And finally, you know, we're seeing some units from green make their way in, but I don't know, it might be too little too late from everybody, just thinking that everyone else is going to come in a little bit earlier and then I can swoop in for the glory. But between the spam and the rams and the towers, I don't know if they can clean this up in 25 years.
I don't think so. And honestly, like, purple is not really moving in. Green is kind of blocked due to the wood and gold positioning there. This looks so good for Onlu. 24 years and no one really contesting
and like they're saying to kill the reinforcements, but there aren't any reinforcements because he's at the pop cap. I say he's got kind of a lot of villagers that, you know, that's kind of eating into it, but with his just the sheer number of Karambits he can have, it might not be that big of a deal.
Tapani is back at it, and he will send his 8 cavaliers. Now Harvard is to the front. Hallelujah, they won't do enough. 15 years. Is it maybe an option of Onlu that he screws it up and maybe misclicks some of his army that he isn't getting enough there? But bomber towers are around, the reinforcements are slowly coming. Well, he actually doesn't have that much stuff here.
So it kind of melted away. If he could get this ram in there, these 2 rams might be his best shot because he's only got 8 years to go.
That's not a lot of stuff here.
No.
6 years. And oh god, he got more Karambits coming from the left-hand side. Focus.
Oh, that ram's
blue.
going the wrong way. There it goes.
Oh, villagers now trying to clump up. The ram is getting focused down by freeloading. We still have some villagers here. 2 more years. This looks like he will do it. Not with a lot of army left. 1 more year. It's lagging quite a bit. And it's GG. The Karambits in the end will survive. He did not have a lot of HP there, but yeah. It was green against orange, gray against red, orange and teal too far out of the game. And Onlu just went for our quickest game of the day.
Yeah, he just efficient. He snuck right in there. He stayed just as long as he needed to, and then he basically exploded right after he made it across the finish line. He's got, you know, Karambits, villagers, and halberdiers, so you know, max hit points 60 apiece. Really well timed by him.
Yeah, bomber tower and mass, and well, Tado won King of the Hippo number 4 when it was free hidden pick, and he picked melee as well, so they truly have some strengths. But well, if you play against 2 other melee, still takes something to win this one. And guys, now it's time for the big tournament announcement. We'll work for ice cream. How hyped are you?
Oh, I'm incredibly hyped. I might disconnect right now because there's going to be a lot of girlish giggling and squealing when I hear what it is. So I'll leave you to make this big one, and I'll see you back on the stream.
Oh, thank you so much for being around and being so funny.
Thanks for hosting the tournaments. They're always a blast. They're always really fun to play in. I need to start playing more so I can get back into the swing of things, so I can join the tournaments, because it was about the most fun I've ever had in the round that I got to play in. So if anyone is ever hesitant about playing, they should definitely sign up and give it a try, because it's a blast.
Thank you so much for your kind words. And well, tomorrow, I believe 16 GMT, there could be still a spot for you.